No evidence exists because there is no God and no hell. Take peace in knowing that you don't have to live your life with the false hope of heaven and the fear of hell.
Tonight, in Fear and Faith, I'm investigating whether we could have created God in our own minds.
I don't think hell exists. I happen to believe in life after death, but I don't think it's got a thing to do with reward and punishment. Religion is always in the control business. And that's something people don't really understand. It's in the guilt-producing control business. And if you have heaven as a place where you're rewarded for your goodness and hell as a place where you're punished for your evil, then you sort of have control of the population. And so they create this fiery place, which has quite literally scared the hell out of a lot of people throughout Christian history. And it's part of a control tactic.
But wait a minute, you're saying that hell, the idea of a place under the earth or somewhere where you're tormented for an eternity, is actually an invention of the church?
I think the church fired its furnaces hotter than anybody else. But I think there's a sense in most religious life of reward and punishment in some form. The church doesn't like for people to grow up, because you can't control grown-ups. That's why we talk about being born again. When you're born again, you're still a child. The people don't need to be born again. They need to grow up. They need to accept their responsibility for themselves and the world.
What do you make of the theology, which is quite prominent these days in America, which is that there is one guaranteed way not to go to hell, and that is to accept Jesus as your personal Savior?
Yeah, I grew up in that tradition. Every church I know claims that we are the true church. They have some ultimate authority. We have the infallible Pope. We have the inerrant Bible. The idea that the truth of God can be bound in any human system, by any human creed, by any human book, is almost beyond imagination for me. I mean, God is not a Christian. God is not a Jew or a Muslim or a Hindu or a Buddhist. All of those are human systems.
A time of trouble. And Judea, under the rule of Herod and the Romans, definitely a time of trouble. And many of the prophecies about this Savior point to someone whose life looks a lot like Jesus's. For instance, Isaiah 53 says the person will be misunderstood and mistreated, just like Jesus was. He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief, and as one from whom men hide their face, he was despised, and we didn't respect him. And a lot of the prophecies, like Daniel 7:14, for instance, explain that when the Messiah comes, there will be this awesome new everlasting kingdom. And that had to sound pretty good to people who'd had their autonomy taken away from them. So some religious Jews saw Jesus in those prophecies and came to believe, either during his life or shortly thereafter, that he was the Messiah. Most of them thought the new everlasting kingdom was right around the corner, which is probably why no one bothered to write down much about the life of Jesus for several decades, by which time it was clear that we might have to wait a bit for this brilliant new everlasting kingdom. I should note, by the way, that the idea of a Messiah was not unique to the Jews at the time. Even the Romans got in on the action. For instance, the Roman poet Virgil wrote of a boy who shall free the earth from never-ceasing fear. He shall receive the life of gods and see heroes with gods commingling. Sound familiar? But Virgil was writing about Emperor Augustus in that poem, not Jesus, which points again to the similarities between the two. Both called sons of God, both sent to free the earth from never-ceasing fear, but one ruled the largest empire in the world, and the other believed that empire and the world needed to change dramatically.
And there is a lot of research on this, and I'm going to say something here that will make many of you angry. But you know why? I got this expression. I have to credit Brian O'Leary for this. The truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off.
Exactly, except for the extraterrestrials that I've been contacted. It says, wake up, guys, you're in a huge play. You know, it's like William Shakespeare said, the whole world's the stage and we're just the players on this thing, which is actually correct. The thing is that there's play going on multi-dimensions and from different places right now. There's a group of extraterrestrials that consider us a virtual reality game.
A lot of things are going to occur, and also they're monitoring us, trying to help us, so we have some chance to wake up. That's the ground crew people.
So they're sending us messages through crop circles? Or?
Yeah, through crop circles, and through the handbook. The handbook is written by extraterrestrials, totally written by them. In order to, they said they'll give us information, they're not going to do it for us. There's nobody come down and save us. We're going to have to save ourselves.
Yeah, there is no savior.
Yeah.
The savior is man himself.
That's right. The victimhood. You know what Christ said? What I do, you can do and greater. He also said, what you sow, you shall reap. Didn't he say that?
Correct.
He said, where's the temple of God located? Within. That's back to you.
Once he came, they killed him. He wouldn't.
They didn't kill him.
I mean, they tried him.
You know, that's another one of the lies. They crucified him up there, but a lot of people got crucified and didn't die.
Hey, there's nothing like saving the world before.
And you go on to say that we're headed for your home planet, where your race has lived since the beginning of the universe? Ah! So, how did the universe begin? Then the meaning of existence, so every religion is wrong.
I say fuck the man that lives in the sky! Yeah, that guy's evil. That guy's a coward, hiding up there doing bad things to us. Why didn't he do it to our faces?
We have to stop that evil bastard before he kills us all.
Look, you're going all wrong. You don't need to follow me. You don't need to follow anybody. But think yourself. I'm telling you, you don't need me. You know what? Maybe we can all make our own destiny. Yeah. Maybe we can all be chosen.